actually go over to the OBS chat, where you guys can chat with us through Twitch as well. We are live on YouTube. We are live on Twitch. We are live on Messenger. But if you want to chat, the best way to chat with me is to go to our Twitch page. To get to that, it is twitch.tv/PilotLife2020. Go there, follow us, and you'll also see where we're live, and you can interact with us through live chat. We've got a guest with us today, so before I get started on the main discussion of this video, we'll introduce our guest tonight with us, Mr. Brandon Armstrong. How you doing?
Surviving, thank goodness. I think the worst is finally behind us, I hope.
Yeah, so talk to us a little bit about that Texas, man.
My God.
They're in a heck of a condition down there.
We've been in a world of hurt for the past week, thank God. For the first time in over a week, we're not under a winter storm warning, I'm glad to say.
Yeah.
Had a pipe burst a couple of days ago. We got that fixed. Hopefully we won't have a repeat of that in a day or so. And it's finally starting to warm up, so I'm hoping this is the worst of it, and it's behind us now. And we've had no internet for 2 days.
Wow.
We just got our internet back yesterday and our water back this morning.
I think
thankfully we haven't lost power.
Yeah, good for that, man. I know that's really sucky. But I think that we're going to fall into the spring season here real soon. You know, I've seen it even on Easter. I've seen snow on the ground, you know.
Oh, yeah, too. I'll tell you how bad it's gotten here in Texas. It's literally gotten to the point, and thank God I'm not in that caveat, but there are people, even in the Houston metro, who are without power and water. They have had to resort to shoveling snow to boil and to drink and to flush their toilets.
That's too bad, man. That's
how bad it is.
Yeah, that's sucky.
Yeah.
You know, like I said the other night, I was doing the video. I think it was last night. Earth, you know, deals with a lot of stuff. You know, the atmosphere deals with a lot of stuff. It deals with, and I'm not one of these big, like, pollution people and blah blah blah. But the facts are the facts, and scientific stuff is that's proven is, you know, those are facts. And the fact is, all that stuff has to do with the weather too, you know. And my main point is, at some point, it's going to cycle back around to where, you know, the winter's coming back and being cold and snowy. Summers are hot. Spring is just, you know, I think that's part of it too. It's just Earth doing its natural cycle of trying to, you know, bring the seasons the way they're supposed to be. Because for the longest time, I mean, I remember as a kid, it was always snow in the winter. Always. There was always snow in the winter. There was always hot summers. There was always, you know, the fall, the spring and fall was always cooler. You know, rain in the spring, obviously. A lot of rain, I remember. And we still get that. But just saying, you know, it's just part of Earth doing its thing, you know. But for anybody dealing with that, you know, I hope you guys get through it and, you know, keep your heads up. Especially those of you down in Texas. You know, when you got, well, I won't start a big discussion on this, but when you got higher authorities running out and leaving people to figure it out on their own, what do you say? What do you do? That's where I'll leave that. And
exactly.
I heard about somebody on another social site that gave you a hard time, and I saw it with, you know,
who happens to live in my community, actually, for, you know, they were telling me that I was basically being lied to because of the fact that leadership have abdicated their duties, which they have, and apparently they don't want to see that.
Well, people got to learn that, you know, we're going to have these discussions when stuff like this happens, and it's really it's opinion based, you know, rightfully opinion based. But you don't got to make it aggressive. You don't got to be aggressive and be mean to people because they don't see it the same way as another person. You know, like you had your views on it. I agreed with you. You heard my thoughts on it.
I still think they're failing.
Well,
I hope there's some accountability in the future for this.
well, and my point being, no one should have gave anybody a bunch of crap for sharing their opinion.
Absolutely.
You share your opinion, Mr. Not going to say your name. So why is it wrong for him to share his? Anyways,
Exactly.
grow up. Grow up, people. I want to check and make sure we're streaming okay. Open YouTube. I want to make sure my audio's coming through.
I don't have my phone near me right now.
No, you're good.
And I'm uploading a video to my own YouTube channel.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that the audio's coming through. And can't promise the title. Okay, that's not it.
Did you BVI 1 hour live how to create a Simbrief Flight Plans.
Okay.
BVI
Looks like it
Here it is.
player video
Yep.
player heading Simbrief Flight Plans.
Oh, yeah, the audio's
Good
coming
deal.
through clearly.
Nice. Okay.
Over
So now I know what to do. I'll just start updating the titles on Restream and then start my stream. Because sometimes you could open OBS and it would have it right there where you could do the title right in OBS. It would let you, but it's not that accessible. OBS developers, work a little bit more. Give us a little bit more accessibility and because it's probably there to do it and I just can't get to it. So, anyway, that's why sometimes the titles are not right. The other night, I did a flight with the PMDG with FSX pilot. That wasn't clickbait, by the way. I was flying a PMDG.
Aircraft.
You know, when you get it,
If I ever get
you could at least test it out a little bit with FSX because it will take off with it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I plan on doing that.
Landing won't be. Even though I know FSX doesn't do good with landings, I still try it. I still
Right.
attempt it, and there should. I think there's a way you can go in there and adjust them airplane settings. But my problem when I fly the PMDG with FSX Pilot, I see the property option, but it won't let me go into it for some reason, which is really weird.
Yeah, if I can just, if someone will actually pay me my money, like
Speedway, Indiana, United States, 4.1 nautical miles, 15
that
degrees.
aircraft and start testing it. So
Well, and hopefully, you know, maybe here in the near future, maybe I can try to help you out on that as well with the. Well, you're wanting it for P3D though, which it ain't much more. I don't think it's $99. I think for P3D.
yeah, it's about the same price. But I definitely do want it for P3D so I can test it.
I like it for FSX. No, you don't get. The biggest difference is the extended version. I don't think you get that, but you do get all of them. You get the 6, 7, 8, and 9 in the PMDG. So, you know, if you wanted to be a little cheaper, you could get it for FSX. But
Yeah, once I get that and I start flying it and testing it, and I can actually get good at flying it, I'll definitely be using it in Star Alliance for one of the tours I actually want to do.
yeah, and even with, and then guys, we'll get to the main topic here. For those of you who might be watching to get that information, even, you know, with the normal version of the PMDG 737 800 or 900,
Yeah.
you know, you can still go a decent ways with, you know, the PMDG. You can still do across you could still fly from, you know, like Washington D.C. to California.
Yeah.
or something. You could go from coast to coast. You just can't do the long
Do the
flights.
long hauls.
Right.
I want to get good at flying it so I can start using it on VATSIM when I do my flights.
Yeah, me too. I thought I had my video fixed where people could see the screen, but I don't think that's working properly. I tested it last night, and no one could still see. It was just black, and I think it's got something to do with
Ops 26.1 point Ops 26.
the OBS itself. Like, you know how you
Audio
have
mixer volume slider for desktop properties for desktop audio button.
you have
Window, exit button. Audio mixer window properties for
audio
desktop
mixer
button.
1,
Volume slider for desktop new desktop audio check
Yeah.
properties for desktop audio 2 button.
audio
You know,
2.
I was just thinking about that, and if you could maybe set your display to maybe display capture, it might solve the problem, because I had a similar issue when I had to
What
set up
is
everything again when I had a Windows update.
what do you mean set that where display capture? Where you set that?
Unfortunately, if you can't get the sources in OBS, you might not be able to do it, because
Oh, okay. So it's under the settings. Under the settings.
I think it's under settings. I'll have
Okay.
to go look again.
TCTS
We'll mess
TCTS.
with that. I'll mess with that later and see if I can figure it out. But yeah, so that's why you guys are probably not seeing the screen if you do have sight. If not, just follow along with the
TCTS Google Chrome.
screen reader and all that.
Nickname left parent.
We should be
Earth
good.
nickname, OAuth password edit, channels left parent, comma dash separated right parent, edit blank. OAuth password edit protected, Earth nickname left parent, use normal Twitch username if unsure right parent, edit blank.
Oh gosh, you got to be kidding me.
Simbrief tonight.
Yeah, we are. Chat is probably not going to work tonight, you guys, because
OAuth password edit
it
protected,
wants
blank.
me to.
Earth nickname left parent, use normal Twitch username if unsure
Let
right
me see
parent,
if
edit
I
blank.
can log into it real quick. If it don't work, I'm not going through the authorization crap tonight.
Oh, geez, yes, that's a pain. That is such
Channels
a
left
pain.
parent,
I
comma dash separated right parent, edit blank.
Twitch account not too long ago. Had to reset my password.
Login button.
Let's see what it says. Maybe to let us.
Checkbox not checked. Remember settings left parent. Store settings locally right parent. Button login. Blank. Button login. Checkbox edit pilot life plan. Channels left edit protected. OAuth edit pilot life plan. Earth nickname left parent. Heading level 1 Twitch login. Heading level 1 Twitch login. Earth nickname edit OAuth edit channels edit pilot. Checkbox not button login. Blank. Button login. Checkbox not checked. Remember edit pilot life 2020. Channels left parent. Com edit protected 11. OAuth password. Edit pilot life 2020.
Are you not going to log me in?
OAuth edit protected 11. System men close task map book reopen new tabs to maximize available. TCTS
If it
document.
does,
OAuth
I'm
password.
just
Edit
going to leave
protected
it
11.
be.
Channels
I'm
left
not
parent.
going to mess with it.
Login button.
Come on.
Button login. Blank. Login authentic. Heading level 1 instructions for use. Login authentication failed.
No. So we're not going to worry about the
Red
chat.
circle left bracket left.
But what you guys can do,
Red circle left bracket right bracket dashboard dash restream.
if you got
Ops
questions,
26.1.1 Simbrief.com dash virtual flight.
you can leave your comments down below, and we'll always be back again with different videos. Me and you need to get our Dropbox straightened out,
Yes.
because I'd really like to put. Before I get started, and this is really important. I don't know who pays attention to things I say and who doesn't, but this is important. BVI Pilots, this channel right here on YouTube that you're watching, I don't count that to be just my channel. That is the BVI Pilot community channel. And I would be more than happy to upload videos to it that you do. More than happy to. But if you don't let me know, if you don't communicate with me, then I have no way to do it. If you want to, contact us, and I'd be glad to do it. We can set up a Dropbox where everybody can just drop their videos in there, and I will upload them as I see them go in. Okay? I do the same thing for Brandon. So, contact me. All right? If you want your videos up here. Like I said, Brandon, you've done it. And you've got it set up where you can do it. Secondly, last thing, before we get started, BVI Pilots. The website, bvipilots.com. If you want an email address, I'm not psychic. Now, I was hearing that people want email addresses, but I've not heard from one person about giving them an email address. So, if you want an email address, contact me, and I'll set it up right away. I don't know where we stand yet with the uploading. I can tell you there's probably going to be a limit on what you upload. We don't want to just be upload every little thing that you see. We want it to be useful stuff, airplanes that work, sound packs that are good, stuff like that, scenery, tutorials, definitely on tutorials. We need as many of them that we can get. The more the better.
Thanks for reminding me.
Alright, so tutorials. If you got one, let me know. And we'll put it up on the website. Alright? So let's get started with Simbrief on building a flight plan. Now this is something that Brandon's also familiar with. I've already got the page pulled up. So I'm going to take you through a couple steps where I'm already past that point.
Insert advertisement. Out of frame. Link graphic.
So when you go to Simbrief, well, first of all, Brandon, what is Simbrief?
Simbrief is basically a website to help you create a flight plan. So say if you're going from Austin to Los Angeles, for example, so you could create you a flight plan on that website to go from Austin to Los Angeles.
App start cursor. Normal cursor.
Second question, how much does it cost for Simbrief?
Absolutely nothing. It's free.
Third question and point that needs to be made. There is something that connects with Simbrief that you need to have be able to have successful flights. What might I be talking about, Brandon, that's connected with Simbrief that you update once a month?
AirRack data and Navigraph data.
So talk to us about that a little bit. Explain to the viewers what is it and why is it important? And do they have to have both? Is it vital that both are received or not?
So what this basically is, it's basically data that connects with Simbrief and your sim that will basically update your airports, your runways, your SIDS and stars, your waypoints for your flight plans. And in my own personal opinion, yes, I think it is vital to have it. You don't have to have it, but I would highly recommend you that you do if you're going to do this a lot, because of the fact that, especially if you go on VATSIM, like I do a lot.
And so we have Navigraph, and then you've got the, what's the other one called? AirRack data. Explain, and the reason I'm asking you is because you're up here with me, so I want to make you part of this tutorial.
Indiana, United States, 4.1 nautical miles, 15 degrees.
What is the difference between the AirRack and Navigraph? What is the difference?
I have never really understood what the difference between those two things were, and I've asked several people, and I've really never gotten a straight
This is what I picked up from it. And if anybody can give a better answer, by all means do that. On Navigraph, when you go into it, yes, you're updating the AirRack data with that too, but the biggest part of it is it's putting the AirRack data into where it needs to be.
To go, yep.
Navigraph is what puts the data in the directories where it has to be so that when you're flying, you're getting the right scenery and all that. Without Navigraph, you're not flying. And if you are flying, you're not flying with us the right way.
Well, and like I said earlier, if you're going to be flying with us a lot, yes, you're going to have that, because if you go on VATSIM and they say something like, go direct to Puppy, and you don't have that in your AirRack data, you're kind of screwed.
Yeah, it's really important.
Yes.
Navigraph and the AirRack data is not that expensive. The one's called Navigraph and the other one's called FS Aero data?
Yes.
Yeah, so you have Navigraph and you got FS Aero data. And what I will do when I'm done with this video, I will try to get a couple links put down in the description that'll take you to, well, I know with the Navigraph, you can get that through Simbrief. you can update that
You can.
and connect it through Simbrief, and it'll take you to the webpage you need to go to. FS Aero Data, I don't know the link by heart, but I'll look it up. It might even be FS Aero Data. I don't know if that's the link or not, but I'll get it and get it put in the description. That way, we're not telling you wrong. Like Brandon said, it's important that you do that. If not, you're going to have a hard time flying. It's going to be frustrating. You can still fly with
You can.
you know, the default data, but you're not going to have the most updated data.
Well, and like I said, when you're online flying on VATSIM, it's really crucial you have that data.
Yeah.
Very crucial you have it.
And it's not that expensive, you guys, like $5, $10, something. I forget what it is for the whole year or something like that. I forget the price, but it's not.
It was 20 for FS Aero, and I think it was 60 for Navigraph. I can't remember. It was, unless they've dropped the price.
They might have. It's just been so long, I forget what it was. All right, so make sure you guys write that down. Make notes on that you need that stuff. And then, as of right now, you're going to need FS Tramp. I'm not going to go through the whole tutorial with it, but I will tell you, FS Tramp is what will allow you to fly. Do not pay for it. Contact one of us and we'll help you get set up. Okay? If you're going to pay for something, pay for it through a developer that actually can show respect to the community that puts the cheese in their pocket. Anyways,
Yeah.
so FS Tramp, and then you've got TFM, Talking Flight Monitor, which was designed by Jason and then continued on with Jason and Andy. So, big things happening there. I can't wait to see more come out. Hopefully soon.
Me either.
So that's important stuff. Now I might do another video maybe, I don't know about tomorrow, but in the next day or two, we might do another video and we're just going to talk about all the things that you need, all the necessities that you need to fly, even as a beginner. Okay, so that brings us back to Simbrief. Once you log in, now guys, I'm going to do this as if you've got a Simbrief account. I'm not going to keep dropping back, going back and forth. So I'm going to assume that you got a Simbrief account. If you don't, contact us. We'll help you out on the side to help get you set up. Once you log in, you'll click on, and what I do, it makes it easier. I don't do all that tabbing around. I'll do insert F7. I'll hit D for dispatch. Yep. Hit enter on that. Once you do that, then you can arrow down. You're going to find, after the first or second heading, you'll see where it says new flight plan. Create new flight plan. You'll click on that. What's that?
I don't even do that. When I go to dispatch, I'll go to the button. It'll say button create new flight, and I just hit enter on that.
Okay, yeah, that's even easier. So once you go to dispatch and you hit enter on that, just hit the letter B, and it's going to take you to that create flight plan button. That's a lot easier. Good tip, Brandon. So that is where we are now. Now what I do, so I know where I'm at, is I start at the very top, and I'll hit the letter B.
Graphic generate OFP button, generate a flight plan using these
You'll see generate OFP.
Image graphic new flight button, clear all options.
New flight button. We already did that, so don't do it again.
Image graphic save flight button, save it.
Save flight. You can save this flight. You can still use it, but you can also save it to where maybe if you're going to do that flight again, you'll have that flight plan.
Image graphic close flight button, close it.
I don't save them, and here's why. And if I do, I make sure I update that if it's been over a month. And that's why I don't save them, because there might be an update with the, any of it. There could be an update with the airport, the scenery, and if there is, then you're going to be out of date with your flight plan and you might run into problems. So if you're going to save a flight plan, don't use it, after 30 days, I would say delete it and create a new one and store it. It'd be nice if it automatically just updated that flight plan with the newest information. That'd be kind of cool. For you had to,
Yeah, I would actually. I wish we could actually suggest that to Simbrief because I agree with you. That would be nice.
and I think that'd be something they could do actually, because all it's doing is
Absolutely.
looking at the flight plan and saying, okay, no, we've got one that's a little different now, instead of
Especially,
you know,
especially if you're doing an oceanic one where you have nat tracks, and I'll explain about that
Yeah.
a little bit later if you want me to.
yeah, we'll touch base a little bit on the oceanics here at the end of this video, and then maybe this weekend we'll do an oceanic.
Oh God, yeah, we should because I definitely love doing.
So
oceanic
if you
flights.
guys wanna
Ones.
check that out, come back on Saturday evening and kind of maybe create some open space for yourself and be listening for YouTube to go live, and we'll just live stream this and we'll explain oceanic to you, and we'll actually do a flight. So, all right, so you hit B again.
Clickable zoom in button, zoom in. Normal cursor.
You'll see where it says zoom in. When you see that, I want you to hit Shift B.
Image graphic close light button, close this slide and return there.
I think you can do Shift B to go back a button, right? Let me see.
Can, yes.
Yeah, hit Shift B, because what I want you to do is once you get on
Image graphic save light button, image graphic close light button, close this slide and return there.
Close
Start camera,
flight.
save.
You're going to tab one time.
Row 1, column 1. Table row 1, row 1, column 1.
In that first edit box is where you're going to be putting the name of your airline. So, BVI, for example. Or whatever.
FDX.
Yeah, or FDX or whatever, yeah. So, you put in your airline that you're flying for. Put their code in there. Tab once.
Row 3, column 2. 1000 edit as autocomplete. Row 3.
Now you've got an area for your flight number.
Blank.
Sometimes it'll already be filled in for you. Sometimes it won't.
Yep.
I think that's more of a preference, to be honest. It doesn't matter. I don't think it's that big of a deal. If you can, if you can look at your flight number when you built your, when you got your flight plan from the airline, it should have a flight number for the flight that you're taking. And then you can just put that in there. Otherwise, I just put in like 118 or something like that.
Row 3, column 3.
When I
ZZ.
do other airlines, like I'll do Star Alliance Virtual, they'll have some of that info filled in, and it's really nice to have some of that already pre-filled.
Yeah.
When you go to the dispatch, so that you can enter whatever other information you need in there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Then you're going to tab again, and it's going to put you on the edit field for the airport you're going to be departing from. So in this case, I'm leaving from Indianapolis. So KIND. I'll tab again.
Row 3, column 4. ZZZ. Row 3, blank. As op-
And now it's going to be for the destination, which is going to be KDTW. I'm actually just doing a short flight to Detroit. It's about, I think, a 45-minute. I can't believe how long it takes to go from Indianapolis and be in Detroit. I mean, it's like that, man, and you're there.
It's pretty quick.
Not even an hour. It's pretty amazing. And then what you're going to do, don't worry about this other stuff. So you're going to tab 1,
Chord row 3, column
2,
19,
3,
4,
4,
combo box 45, collapse
5,
table row 1,
and
row 1,
on the
column 1,
sixth
table row 1,
tab,
airframe, colon, open aircraft,
do Alt down arrow. It's going to
List,
open
list
up
item
that list view.
F320 SD.
Now, I remember, I think Josh told me that when you go in and you save some of your airline information under fleets, that it will put it at the top, but for some reason it doesn't put it at the top for me.
Weird.
List item 1 to 100,
Like,
F320 SD-A320-200,
if
300.
that was the case, I would see the A380 here at the top somewhere, but I don't. So what I do, guys, is if you're flying, like A320 or an A330, or just hit the letter that you're flying,
306-A300,
and you'll get to it a lot quicker. And once you get on that letter, then you can start down arrowing
333 345
until you get to the one that you want.
But 359
which is what I'm doing now. I'm just down arrowing.
But 388 388
There it is.
at 43 8 but 388 388
And then once you do that, tab.
combo box
1, 2. Come on.
table row 1 column 1 table row 1 auto row 3 column 1 combo box auto collapse row 3
And you're going to come across a bunch of other stuff that I don't even bother with. Brandon, I don't know if you do, but I don't.
I don't.
The only thing you need to pay attention to is where your LBS is.
320/M85 row 3 column 2 combo box auto row 3 column 3 combo box auto collapse row 3 T00 row 3 column 4
You'll find that down a little ways. You definitely want to set that to LBS.
380 SD row 5 column 1 and 999
Just see if I can guide you where that is. Tab down.
Row 5 column 3 none edit row 5 blank. Row 5 column 4 118 edit row 5 blank. And auto complete.
You'll see the
Row
airline
1 column 2
number
table row 1 row 1
again.
column 1 table row 1 Leo row 2 column 2 combo box Leo collapse row 2 abstract cursor normal cursor.
Guido or something.
Yeah, right after Lido or something. It says Lido or something.
LBS row 3
Tab
column 2
one
combo box
time
LBS
after
collapse row
that.
3.
Yep, and mine's already set to LBS.
Table row 1 auto row 1 column 2 combo box auto collapse row 1 30 min row 2 column 2
So,
combo box
and
30
then
min
you've
collapse
got your fuel, your reserve fuel.
auto row 1 30 min row 2 column 2 combo box 30 min collapse row 2.
Mine's set to 30 minutes.
Well, I was going to say, I was going to give people a tip. If you're not going to do an oceanic flight,
Don't worry about it.
leave that as the default and don't worry about it. But if you're going to do an oceanic, I would strongly probably put your reserve up to 90 minutes.
Yeah. Otherwise, I think 30 is a good number.
Yeah, because I've had situations on oceanic where I forgot to do that, and I just ran out of fuel
Table with 6 rows and 2
to
columns.
the airport.
Right. So, once you do all that, I don't worry about looking at the Eric cycle at the bottom because, well, you can. I do suggest if you're new to look at it, make sure you're updated. And if you are, once you see that you are, you're going to hit Shift B until you get back up
Image graphic close light button close this slide and return
You
to the
hit
list.
one,
Image graphic
two,
image graphic
three,
image graphic generate OFP button generate
4
OFP.
times. And it'll say generate OFP, I believe how it says it. Hit enter on that.
Normal cursor confirm dialog confirm.
It's going to say confirm.
No button. Clickable close button close. Yes button.
Hit enter on
Button,
yes.
image, unknown cursor normal cursor.
And
unknown
then
cursor.
give it a minute to generate the flight plan for you.
Yeah, because it'll load a couple of pages.
Simbrief.com/virtual flight planning solutions. Insert advertisement.
Yep. And something I need to tell you guys about that I forgot to bring up. You need to download, when you're on the Simbrief page, you need to look for the
Simbrief.com/virtual flight planning.
Simbrief download. It's right on the front page. You just have to tab around a little bit. But it is there. It does. I mean, it's pretty clear on what it is. They don't have a whole lot of downloads. Just look for that download on the front page. I'm wanting to say it's about halfway down the page.
Yeah, I think
From-
it's about halfway down.
But just look for Simbrief Downloader. I believe it's how it titles it, I believe.
Yeah, if you don't want to do going arrowing down or tabbing or anything, you can actually go to the top and do a find command with your screen reader and type in downloader.
Yeah, you can do that too. Now, you can very well download the flight plan from the page, but I say, why do that if you can just use the Simbrief Downloader? And that's going to be a tutorial by itself. Because there are a couple things you got to do in there to set it up. So if you've never used it and you're not sure how to use it, go ahead and just download the flight plan from here today. And then, unless you see the video out or published for the Simbrief Downloader. So, in my case, it's already there. But now, before we leave, you do want to look at something. There are a couple things that I always tell people to put on Notepad or have it where you can see it.
Banner landmark link graphic support me dash Simbrief graph link map link register.
And from the top, you're going to hit the letter H. Let's see.
Banner landmark Simbrief graphic home dash visit link new flight.
Twice.
Link visit link graphic
And
image.
then keep arrowing down a little bit. You're going to see.
Heading level 603:03: button graphic image. Button edit flight. Button graphic image.
You'll see where it
Button
says
new
edit
button
flight,
button
new
button
flight.
button
Down
button
below
button
that is going to be your
insert
flight
advertisement,
plan.
insert advertisement. Airline. Ga. Flight dash no.
It'll say airline,
Aircraft.
airline number, aircraft, call sign,
Best. KTTW. Kind. Best. KTTW.
destination, date.
02:airtime. 0:33.
Keep arrowing down
Block
until
time,
you see where it
Block
says
fuel.
block fuel. You want
L.
to write that
Block fuel
down.
selected.
So just
60,369
copy
selected.
it.
Copy to clipboard.
Like for this flight from Indianapolis to Detroit,
Block fuel. 60,369
it's
LPS.
60,369 pounds of fuel.
Run dialog. Type
So,
documents. Notepad. Notepad.
I'm going to
Text
open up
available.
Notepad.
List. Untitled Notepad.
I'm going to paste that in there so I've got it.
Simbrief.
And I'm going to come back on my Simbrief page.
Extra fuel.
And I'm going to hit the letter H.
Heading level 2.
It'll say heading level 2, and I'm going down arrow. It'll say alternate route. Don't worry about that.
FTR 60 attached.
Keep down arrowing.
60 attached. Blank. L/CDL 13 blank. 60 attached. Blank.
Until you see routing.
Blank. Route ID colon. Depth.
And you want to copy this. Right under where it says route ID, you're going to copy the route information.
Kind/0.
So like right here, it starts with kind, with the runway number and all that. So you're going to copy.
Line feed selected. Line feed unselected.
Sometimes it might be just one line.
60,000.
Sometimes if you're doing an oceanic, it's going to be like 4 or 5 lines.
Blank. 60,000. Blank. 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 60,000.
Or even if you're going to another country. But copy that because when you do your, when you're setting up your flight plan with FS Tramp, that's going to be another tutorial again. I know I've done it before, but I'm going to do an updated tutorial. Me and Brandon will. You're going to want this information handy, and if you don't want to have to keep open Simbrief, the page, you can copy it, put it on Notepad, and now you can close the page after you get that information because you've got the Simbrief downloader. Don't do that if you've not downloaded the flight plan yet. If you already closed the page, then you have to go back in and go to, there'll be a button there for you to review your last flight.
My last edited flight or something.
Yeah, let me see what it says. I think it says edit new. Oh, here it is. There's edit the flight.
Heading level 603. Button graphic image. Button edit flight. Button graphic image. Button new flight.
New flight.
Button graphic button print slash new PDF.
So you can go to edit.
Button graphic image. Button pre-file flight.
I was thinking there was another link you could click for just
button graphic image. Button download FMS. Button IFPS validate. Iris with colon 5 seconds. Figure insert advertisement.
Anyways, you can come back and you can, even if you just go to edit, and then just regenerate it, and there you go. So I'm going to close Simbrief now that I did that because that's it. Now, if you got the Simbrief downloader,
Shadow 5776. Sim focus sound 59 Sim sounds Simbrief downloader 6907.
I'll go ahead and just show you quick on me exporting it. So I open Simbrief downloader.
See cleaner not selected. Star Untitled dash notepad row 1 column red circle left bracket right op 26 recording and lives Microsoft Flight Untitled dash notepad row 2 column Simbrief downloader row 2 column edit cursor. Simbrief downloader document. Please select the directory edit blank. Simbrief downloader document. Please select the directory. Please unknown cursor. Please select the directory edit select. Please select the directory edit.
And sometimes the Simbrief likes to be goofy.
Document selected.
Oh yeah.
Edit cursor.
Because it's because of NVDA.
Yep.
We'll restart NVDA.
Taskbar. App start cursor. Normal cursor.
So let me let that load real quick.
Speedway, Indiana,
Loading
United
NVDA, please wait.
States.
Taskbar.
Okay, so here we go.
Miles,
Simbrief
15
downloader window. Edit
degrees.
cursor.
Okay.
Folder view list. See cleaner not selected. Star Untitled Star Folder view list. See cleaner not select. Smart cars team 3870. Shadow 57 Sim focus sound 5907. Sim sounds dash short Simbrief downloader 6907.
There it is. Simbrief downloader.
Simbrief downloader window.
Sometimes it likes to be silly. Okay, so now I got it open. I'm going to the very top.
Latest flight 118-388-kind/KD.
And you'll see where it says your flight. Go down arrow like one time from the very top.
118-388-kind/KDTW left bracket.
And then you'll down arrow below after you right below that.
Clickable refresh.
You'll see where it says refresh, down arrow again.
Clickable export selected formats.
Export selected formats. Now it doesn't look like a link, it doesn't look like a button, but if you hit enter right there,
Simbrief downloader window. Heading level 1 Simbrief downloader. Clickable graphic, clickable inline.
it's going to bring up the
Clickable close. Close. Kind-KDT. Click close.
options for exporting. It's going to show you the directories you got set up. Like I said, if you don't have this set up yet, don't just try to go and use it without knowing how to use it because you'll mess stuff up, and you don't want to do that.
Close.
All right.
Nope.
Just but if you do got it, once you do that, go to the
Close.
bottom,
Desktop.
hit
Simbrief downloader
close,
document. Export select.
and there you go. Your flight plan has been downloaded, and it's been exported into the directory where you keep your flight plans.
That's very handy.
Let me give you a tip
Simbrief downloader.
on flight plans.
Simbrief downloader.
Clean out that directory from time to time.
Yes.
because it can be a
red circle left bracket, right bracket, dashboard, battery stream, dashboard.
real pain in the butt.
You can get over.
Red circle left bracket, star untitled dash note, ops 26.1.1 left parent. Recording and live stream Microsoft Flight Simulator X Row 2.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I I remember before I started cleaning them out. I remember I had it as bad as having like over 300 different flight plans in there, and it's like, trust me, when you're trying to just get a flight plan loaded because you're on VATSIM or whatever, you're just ready to go, and you got to keep on hitting the letter K. It can get annoying because you can't always understand exactly what it's saying from where it just has it listed with the 4 letters for your departure, and then it beside that it have where you're going, and beside that it say something like NO proc something. Anyway, it's just complicated.
Yeah.
So, hopefully this helped you guys better understand Simbrief. Someone had actually requested me to do this again, so here it is. I don't mind doing things over. I think it was pretty simple to follow that. If you get stuck, we can't help you unless you communicate. So, let us know that you're missing something, and we'll do our best to help you.
So did you want to touch briefly before we close on oceanic stuff like nat tracks?
Well, I figure what we'll do is, being we're going to be doing an oceanic, we'll just leave it for the oceanic on Saturday.
Okay.
That way it's all on that video, and people's not getting confused with, this being Simbrief and then oceanic, and then they try to
Yeah.
do an oceanic thinking they need to or something. So Saturday, you guys, which is going to be,
Thursday, February 18th, 2021.
this is the 18th, so
Thursday, February 18th.
the 20th, be listening to your phones or however you get your notifications for that live stream to happen, because I will be going on YouTube, Twitch, Messenger, and I can actually go on one more, but I can't think of any other ones. I mean, I guess we could put it out on. They're getting ready to switch, but it's still available right now. Actually, I could put it on Steam as well, and I can also put it on Periscope. So we might do that Saturday. We might be broadcasting all over the place on Saturday. So,
That'd be awesome.
Red circle left bracket, star untitled dash notepad, ops 26.
guys, if you got questions for me or Brandon, we'd be glad to answer your questions. Generally, we've got the chat open where you can just type in the chat window on Twitch and talk to us, but it wanted to be silly tonight, and I didn't want to mess with it. So,
Yeah.
just leave comments if you got questions, and we'll do our best to answer any questions you might have. So, Brandon, if you ain't got anything, I don't got anything else. We'll let these guys go and do their first flight.
Yeah, I don't have anything else either.
All right, guys.
Everybody in Texas stays warm and stays safe, and
Yeah, absolutely.
the worst is behind us.
And remember to follow Brandon here on Twitch as well. Brandon, what's your Twitch info? Give it to us.
It is twitch.tv/Armstrong445, and that's all going to be lowercase.
There you go. He does a lot of long flights, long hauls. He's the long haul guy, so
I'm a long haul person, so yeah, I do a lot of long hauls.
yeah.
Very well known for that.
And then, of course, BVI Pilots is on Twitch. But it's actually, the title is not BVI Pilots. It's Pilot Live 2020. I can't remember if BVI Pilots was taken or, I don't remember. But
It was.
I think so. So go there and follow us if you're not watching on Twitch. Of course, you got BVI Pilots on YouTube. You can follow us on Twitter at BVI Pilots. And, yeah, until next time, you guys have a good night, a good day. Stay safe, stay warm wherever you might be. We're almost through this winter bull crap.
Volume properties for desktop audio 2 button.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I'll be
Property control settings button. Studio start virtual start recording checkbox not checked.
I'll be
Stop
very
streaming, checkbox
happy.
checked.
Very.
Audio mixer window controls window. Stop streaming.
Funny, because
Stop
I
streaming
like
checkbox checked.
snow, but when you get impactful situations
Start record-
like
stop
this,
streaming,
when you
checkbox
don't
checked.
have power or water, it's like, God,
Start
please
record-
just
stop
get
streaming,
me
checkbox
through
checked.
it.
Yeah, it's like every year we say, oh man, it's too hot. I can't wait till it cools off. And then it cools off and we're saying, damn, it's cold. I wish it would warm up. It's like,
exactly how we are here every single year. Every year. It gets hot in the summer.
we're a bunch of hypocritical people when it comes to weather.
Yeah.
All right, guys, y'all have a good night. Those of you in Texas, just because you're in the beautiful state and it's always warm there, it doesn't hurt to have a couple quilts in your closet. Hint, look out your window. I think that should be enough to motivate you to get yourself a couple quilts, maybe an electric blanket, and a shovel. And
And proper
don't depend on the